So, well, why they decided to collaborate and how that came about, and then what the design aspect.
Well, you start off with Dan Man being one of the mellowest, nicest guys on the planet, and then you add Rob Machado, which is the same DNA. And they had a customer service request saying, "Hey, I would love to have a Seaside and a Spitfire blended together." And they thought about it, and they're like, "That's not a bad idea. Let's try one." And when they built it, it turned out better than they anticipated, and it was a very cool scenario where there are two master shapers working together on just the basic concept of what would this work if this was there and that was here, and a little bit of a cut and paste to a certain degree, but they wrote it, they fine-tuned it, and they got it to the market. And the Mashup is one of my favorite boards, particularly as a quad. It's one of the few boards that you can ride as a hybrid and still get away with good waves, and that has a lot to do with the swallowtail being pulled in, and more importantly, the step in the rail, which is famous for the Spitfire. I had a lot to do with that, of bringing the tail down and getting that thick tail block to bury a little bit longer in the tail so you didn't slide as much. And that's exactly what the concept was when they did this. The center is relatively thick and the sides are really pinched out, and then it gets normal once it gets past the fin boxes. So there's a lot of matching what both boards contributed. Wide point being similar to the Seaside. It's just one of those, like a perfect blend if you're gonna make a kid.
So you guys have at the time you had three choices of construction. You had the TimberTech, the LFT, and then the Helium. So why the Helium?
The Helium to me is like the pinnacle of our technology. It's the lightest, it's the strongest, and it has the best flex properties. So whenever you have a weight ratio to flex ratio in your favor, I kind of lean towards that. The balsa gets tapered off dramatically on this one, so the tail is relatively soft. You can really flex it out, where the rest of the board has a solid rail all the way around. You're just more about integrity. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds, really. You have the flex characteristics, you have the lightness, and you have the performance aspect of it.
So people that don't know, earlier we were talking, if you could talk on this board,
sure,
how the construction of the balsa is.
Yeah. So the Helium construction is really complex in the sense that we start with an EPS blank at 0.8, which is almost no one will use it because you can't shape it unless you have a CNC machine, but it doesn't have any integrity. But what we do is we build our blanks. We build our blanks out of balsa rails, frame the whole entire board. There's a nose block at front that holds the wood in place, and there's a tail block in the back that holds the wood in place. And that gives us the ability to make the blank. And then the machine will shape everything down to whatever board you're building. So the blank's basically the same, and it's all relevant to what board you're building out of it. And that just takes all the excess off.
You try to put it up to the light.
You can really see
the tail block.
You can see the tail block. Is that a spot?
Yeah, right there. You go. Perfect. Look at that. I don't know if you guys can see that wood right there, that dark spot. And the nose is the same thing too. So it kind of connects right there.
It connects. It makes it a complete frame, a complete parabolic frame, which gives you the ability to hold everything together so it doesn't fall apart in the build.
Lego.
Yeah. And that gives us that and the rocker beds gives us the ability to hold the board in place and then shape it without having any distortion. And that's like one of the biggest things about our builds.
For wave-wise, what would you recommend from what side to what side?
It's relevant to your skill set always, but I'm really comfortable at like 4 foot down. And it's not because the board doesn't turn.
Hawaiian?
Yeah.
So you can surf it up to like 4 feet. I mean.
Easily. Easily. And the only reason I say that is because the board's relatively wide. So if it's hollow and pumping, and you're going to get the advantage of riding with extra foam, but it's a relatively wide board. Personally, I'll go to an FRK if it gets over 4 foot. That's just that's what I want to do. But this board does handle, and bigger surfers shred this board in all conditions.
Well, with the rail being so pinched, it's just like...
No, it's giving you all kinds of stability, and it gives you traction. And I guess that's the best word, is traction. Because you're not going to, even though it's a quad, it's designed as a quad, it's not going to slide around on you, which is... When you're going fast, it's easy to do if you have a wide tail block. The taperness of the board is definitely contributing to the traction.
Yeah, and there's a V that goes all the way up the tail too.
Yeah,
huh? So
it's a pretty magical board. Pretty good.
So what fins are you using on it? You thruster or quad?
Quad.
Quad.
Yeah, I rock quads a lot now. It just keeps me in the water if it's high tide and gutless. I know I have a little energy, a little extra pop, and I'm surfing beach breaks. In order to stay in the water, you got to stay kind of motivated, and that's been.
So when you're here in Hawaii and it's like solid 3 feet head high or something like that.
If I'm going right, it'll be a quad. If I know I'm lefts, I'll ride a thruster.
Oh, okay.
I like the back foot pivot sensation as a thruster.
Yeah.
And I haven't found anything that matches that.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.